When you lose in overtime, you don't need wide sweeping changes or overhaul the entire structure and the whole system. Now, if it happens next year, if this year happens next year, you've got a whole host of other questions you need to ask because your quarterback will be in line for that extension, and the list of free agents next year is much more dramatic than it is this year. So this year hurts. Overtime,
no doubt.
Super Bowl, you were close, you didn't get it done, but it really kind of is, and I hate to steal from you, but Super Bowl or try again, it fits this year. Next year, if you have the same trajectory, the same year, it's not Super Bowl or try again because you got to pay your quarterback and you've got an older team with a bunch of guys who are going to be free agents. So next year, you need to come up with a new motto, bro.
Ooh, you're going to hate this.
Super Bowl or blow the whole damn thing up.
It's always Super Bowl or try again.
Of course, but not in terms of the roster. And I'm not trying to do radio 12 months ahead of time, but the list of free agents next year is such that you're not going to be able to bring everyone back and, quote, try again.
Well,
you're just not.
No,
Mark.
but you try again. And
of course.
Bringing in other people is part of trying again.
Including a new quarterback.
Well, except for, no, because even the extension wouldn't, if you sign it, it wouldn't kick in yet in year one.
Right.
He's got 2 more cheap years. 2 more full cheap years.
Right.
You just sign the extension next year, and then it kicks in the year after that. Boy, it ended up in a funny middle ground with that, didn't it? What if this February was next February? What would you offer Brock? What would you pay him?
You'd probably offer him something around, Kirk Cousins money? Cousins is more than $30 million a year, though, right?
Cousins right now, well, and his is fully guaranteed. Remember, right? You know?
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking you would offer Brock
Cousins is on a 1-year 35.
35. I think you'd be looking to give Brock something around 30 or 35 with, 70% of that guaranteed. That's usually what you look at. You give him 5 and 125 with about 80 million guaranteed.
You think he'd take it?
I think he would. And that's an interesting one because I was thinking earlier today about this very thing. Not that any athlete is going to just give up millions and millions of dollars, but Brock Purdy strikes me as the kind of guy who might not go for every single last dollar based on what we've seen of him, his upbringing, his love of Jesus, the very fact that he's gone from Mr. Irrelevant to now being Mr. Highly Relevant. I'm not saying he's going to play for, you know what, guys, just pay me $800,000 going forward because I want to win.
No.
I do think that he might be more open to taking less than what he could absolutely milk them for.
We'll see. I mean, you're going to have...
It's going to be interesting to see.
You're going to have 17 games plus playoffs more information to get about Brock Purdy. I mean, just because somebody is religious and a good family person, I don't think that means that you're just like, so pay me whatever you think I'm worth. I mean, I honestly think it's funny how excited everyone is. Oh, we got a whole nother year before we can talk extension with Brock Purdy. It would be better if the 49ers could do it now. Because let me ask you this. You think they're going to be good next year?
Yeah, they'll be good.
Okay. So what if Brock Purdy wins another division and he wins another set of playoff games? Who knows? Maybe he ends up in another Super Bowl, and watch out. What if he wins it? Now what's that contract? I mean, it's way higher. I think you could reasonably put $25 million a year in front of him right now, and yeah, he might pen to paper, but I would bet against that being the case by next year. Sean Salisbury joined us yesterday. This question came up.
There's very few guys in my mind that are. I wouldn't have paid Deshaun Watson what he got paid. No way. But I can tell you what, I trust Brock Purdy with the ball more in his hands in a pressure situation. He may not be as talented, but talent and quarterback are 2 different things. So for me, would I pay him $40 million a year for 5 years and guarantee 75% of it? Absolutely not. He's not worth $40 million yet. It's 2 years, but I'll tell you what, give me 2 more years or another year of this, and you got to say, listen, forget all the optics. We win with the guy, and we got a chance. So If you're telling me should he make more than Baker Mayfield, the answer is absolutely. If you're telling me he should make more than Lamar Jackson, no, not yet. But on this, he's still got tied for another big one. If you're telling me is he worth $25 to $30 million, considering what he's done results-wise, you're damn right he is.
Yeah. I mean, right now, the top 10 quarterbacks, the range goes from $55 million to $43. 10th highest paid QB in the league as of last year was Josh Allen, $43 million. So the idea that Brock Purdy would walk in there and take maybe just more than half that, especially if he wins another division, has more playoff wins, who knows? Maybe it goes into February again. I know that he needs to be blessed with health. That's for sure. And that's a very, very big question next year. But 49ers would be better off if they could do this now as opposed to waiting yet another year.
But they can't. As you know. So if this year happens again next year, what does that number look like? And, you know, you look at Daniel Jones, who got paid $40, right? He got a 2-year for $40 million per. Derek Carr got $37.5, and you know he's already done more in his career, and you could argue he's better than those two guys already. And where would he be with another, like you said, 20 games under his belt, 17 regular, 3 postseason? Even if he does next year what he did this year, which was not quite good enough to win the bowl, but now he's got 9 playoff games under his belt in just 3 years. And this team is still humming. And
he finished 4th in the MVP race. And what if he finishes top 5 again?
And leads the league in, yards per attempt and QB rating
you're gonna run out of ammo if you're the Niners. To be like, but you're young and not sure yet.
Right, but it's just what Salisbury said in that soundbite, I think, is where a lot of people still are. It's like right now, 2 years in, absolutely not. You need to see it again. But if you do see it again, well, now you've got yourself quite a conundrum because that salary cap, if you pay a guy $40 million, that's about 20% of your cap.
Yeah, here's the funny thing. I think because Brock is so young and a 7th rounder and has a backpack, there's this concept in people's minds that the Niners have all the leverage and the power. It's like, oh my gosh, he's never made $1 before. Except for those Toyota commercials. My gosh, is he eating? Is this guy doing top ramen? Does he have a roommate still? What's happening? And so the thought is the Niners can go in there, well, he's not worth $40 million yet. So, hey, wee little Brock, we're going to tap you on the head there. We'll give you 26, buddy. And he's like, but we've won the division every year. And we've won playoff games every year. And we went to a Super Bowl, maybe 2. Who knows? Maybe we won one of them. And I'm finished top 5 in the MVP race 2 years in a row. So, hey, 49ers, what exactly are you going to do if I say no? The Niners don't have all the leverage. I would argue the QB always have the leverage. What the heck is the fan base going to do? How are you going to feel if the 49ers are like, we're going to replace him in the draft?
With the number 31 pick.
What?
Yeah.
No. So Brock's going to be able to swagger into that room with one more good year. Swagger into that room.
For sure. And again, it doesn't kick in for an additional year. So the real financial stranglehold doesn't begin for 2 more seasons, where Brock gets through his 4th year, if he continues to play well. If he regresses or they regress next year, then you do have a little bit more leverage as the 49ers.
Sure.
If you wind up going 10-7 and you miss the playoffs due to injury or just maybe Brock comes back to earth a little bit and your team just doesn't win the close games, whatever happens, leverage can change in a heartbeat in this conversation.
No doubt about that. Yeah, another full year of information is incoming.